Here's an interview from one of our past shows on Rock and Metal Revival. If you're interested in hearing full shows, go to our Facebook page and check out our list of affiliates for times and places where you can hear Rock and Metal Revival. That is one called Brothers of the Road. It's new music from KK's Priest from their debut album, Sermons of the Sinner. And with us today, we'd like to welcome back a friend of the show to the Revival, Mr. KK Downing. Welcome back to Rock and Metal Revival.
Hey, Jerry, Red, good to be with you guys. Thank you very much for having me on.
It's great having you on. You know, while listening through this new album, KK, I found myself thinking that these songs fit perfectly with the classic songs of Priest. And I say that because of your distinct style of playing. Through the years, did you want Priest to be heavier from what I hear here? I mean, because I hear a heavier sound from you.
Yeah, I think I was kind of always like the heavy guy, because obviously since the late 60s, I was always, you know, on the road to the evolution of metal. I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to be 70 next month. And I remember in 1968, in the 60s, all we had was blues and progressive blues. You know, it didn't even have rock then. We had rock and roll, but we didn't have rock as we know it. And we didn't have hard rock or heavy metal. So that was the journey I traveled, you know, and yeah, I always liked it a little bit heavier, really. But, you know, when you're in a band, you have to reach a compromise. And obviously the success of Judas Priest was fantastic, because the combination of the people that we had and how they heard things was exceptional, you know. But yeah, in this record, I'm just thinking that it's been KK rated, or whatever you want to call it, you know.
Very nice.
So yeah, that's it, full on, really.
So how did you guys go about writing this album? I mean, did you guys get together in the same room and jam it out, or was it sending files back and forth? Or
yeah, it was like that, really. After I did the show with Ripper and Les in November 2019, I decided, yes, well, definitely I could get back out there and do it, because the other guys are definitely shutting me out. There's no way back there. You know, they've gone legal on me and all that nasty stuff. So I thought I'll shut myself away and see if I can come up with a record, you know. And that's what I did throughout Christmas and the winter. And it all happened very, very quickly. But the other guys had gone back to the States. And so I did I put all the songs together, but I wanted to hear more. So, and obviously I'm pretty good with melody lines and lyrics as well. So I started piecing it all together, you know, and because I just wanted to, you know, I got the demos for all of the musical parts. So now I wanted to orchestrate it with the lyrics and the melodies. So that's what I did, you know, and obviously in a fashion, you know, but, you know, I knew that Ripper would come over at some point and just get really stuck in there and really embellish the hell out and do everything that needed to do in it to be done, you know. So it was great. Yeah, it was ready to deliver by April, really, but COVID had really embedded itself into us guys, you know. So we just had to sit back and see what was going to happen. And unfortunately, it just went on, didn't it? And it's still going on now.
Yeah.
So we had tours booked. We had some nice tour dates booked. Can't tell you about them, but arena tours. But unfortunately, they didn't happen. They got cancelled. I hope it comes around again, you know, and we can pick that up.
Yeah.
But we're definitely going to be out there, guys, as soon as we possibly can. You know, bands are out there now, aren't they? You know, so I'm kind of envious. But a lot of the tours are tours that were cancelled from the year before. So there's this backlog going on that needs to be cleared. But we have interest from Japan, Brazil, you know, the Ukraine, you know, Spain, Portugal, Finland. So, but we'll try and get these dates consolidated, and when we can, we'll let you guys know.
I know there'd be a lot of interest in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I can tell you that right now, KK. We'd love to have you here. And it was great. It was great to hear Ripper back again, singing and playing with you and doing that style of music. Was Ripper the only choice that was with you for when you were thinking about putting the band together?
Well, yeah, because I mean, he's arguably, the metal vocalist. I mean, on the planet today, I mean, he just seems to get better and better. He's just amazing. He's so strong. Yeah. And so, yeah, and of course we had the familiarity. We toured together, we recorded together, so it made a lot of sense. And I was curious to hear Ripper sing some classic metal stuff that obviously I can deliver up really quite readily and easily, because obviously we kind of moved things about a bit when Tim was in the band, call it a bit experimental, whatever you will. But we're going to be pounding that stuff out as well when we get out there. So we've got the new record to play. We've got some classic Priest stuff that I really like to play, stuff that never got played that I always wanted to play.
Awesome.
And obviously we've got the Ripper years as well. So it's going to be great.
Awesome. Now, you and AJ Mills seem like you've meshed pretty well as far as a dual guitar team there. Where did you find him? And how many was there anybody else you thought of, or was he the guy?
He first saw me playing in Judas Priest with Ripper in Birmingham. And he was, I think, 17 then, and he was a budding guitar player. He said, it was the gig that changed his life. For me, my gig was Jimi Hendrix in '67. That changed my life. And this was a similar experience for him. He tells the story. But I went to school with his uncle, Steve, and I know his parents. And we were born probably a mile and a half away from each other. Obviously I was born in 1951. He was born later. But so we're from the hood, and so I helped him with his band Hostile, helped him with those records and got to know him and of course mentored him. And he just he has techniques, some techniques quite similar to me,
but different enough.
Yeah, but different enough, definitely, because no two guys have got the same fingerprint. But I find that good, because I like it, So, and yeah, I like the way he looks, the way he performs, and obviously his appetite for doing this exactly. So he's the ideal candidate, and yeah, I'm totally happy with the band. The band's great, it really is. Lots of energy.
KK, when the single Hellfire Thunderbolt was released, there was an extreme positive response from the metal community. That had to be a great feeling for you and the band to know that people were grasping right onto this project right out of the box.
Yeah, it was very exciting, really, to release that first song. I mean, we didn't know which song to release first. I mean, we just thought that just might fit the bill. We weren't sure, really, because of all the intro and me going kind of mad. We're thinking, should we release that song? And then, but we did it, and it worked out great. So happy days.
I like the video for the Return of the Sentinel, the animated video you guys let us see. That is really cool. Where'd that come from? Who did that?
Yeah, that was done by Andy Pilkington, who also did the artwork, all of the artwork for the album. Okay. A very talented guy, a total metalhead. So I had a conversation with him about the content, and he said, well, because he's not really an animator, but he's got a style and a technique, to me, I think actually does the job better, really, because I think it packs a punch, a lot better.
Yeah.
And so that worked out well. And so he was able to do that and put that together. He, like I say, he's totally metal. He works with so many metal bands. If you ever check out his website, he's incredible. Andy Pilkington here, over here in the UK. And so he's been a fantastic help with the project.
You know, KK, with the whole COVID thing and being shut down, did you find yourself working a lot on writing for, this project and maybe for a project down the road? How did you, keep yourself busy during that layoff?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the only thing I have to dread is sitting in the same place every day and never moving. So there's times when I have to think, I've got to get outside because the doctors and everybody says that you've got to keep moving, So I'm lucky. I can do things, I think we all did it, didn't we? Walking, that's all we were allowed to do in COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll go for walks, I'll go out to the golf course if I can, I've got a bike, not a motorbike, a pedal bike, and I go screaming off. But for the most part, yeah, it's kind of suited me because playing the guitar and recording and all that technology and all the manuals you have to keep reading, it never ends. So it kind of suited me, and I'm well on the way with the next record as well, guys. And I've just had some new equipment delivered from Germany, and so I'm reading the manuals, and it all takes a lot of time. So it's kind of, I can keep busy doing that. But what I really like to do is play the guitar, and to do that, and I like to hear the songs coming together because I don't find it difficult,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just, it's been hard for me now for a long time to try and get back to the new songs. I did a bit this morning, by the way. I pulled up one of the songs and I totally rearranged it and stuff like that. And I got a new version of it now because that's how I work. I keep revisiting, every time I revisit, it sparks off new, oh yeah, that's not right there. We've got to move that, we got to extend this, and it's kind of fun, really, having something to play with like that.
Now, you talked to AJ Mills. You kind of had a life-changing experience seeing you guys, and dude, I had the same thing. I'm hooked on Flying V's because of you, But I remember seeing you in '79 with Kiss. You were and I saw you when you played Sinner. And you're just wailing away on that whammy bar on that. I think it was a Strat back then. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was a Strat. How did you keep that in tune? They didn't have Floyd Roses back then. I mean,
it was really, really difficult. But, in the guitar world, only the brave had the Strat bridge floating.
Mm-hmm.
Only the brave did that, Richie Blackmore did that because, that very familiar up and down whammy in Black Knight and songs like that. I loved all of that shit, I always totally loved it. And obviously, the tuning was very problematic, I was always aware of it, and had to work very, very hard. But before the Strat, I used to have to do it on the V, and that was insane. That was insane because I could see the bridge actually moving like this, and that's where the whammy effect. It was just the whole bridge was moving like this,
Right.
And it, because the last thing you wanted to do was the strings to slip over the saddles because that was sheer death. So I was watching the bridge moving like this, and that was terrifying too, But we did it, and we got along. And we got away with it.
Nice. It managed, yeah. So looking back on your whole catalog of songs, you got any songs you look back and you think, man, that one could have used some cowbell?